and this is happening and the kids are screaming and I get it. All right. I get it. All right. So let's have a look. Let's have a look and see some basics. I'll tell you what I'm going to wipe the chart. I'm going to wipe the chart. I'm going to go in there real quick. All right. So understand this. This is a market. All right. This is a market. And any market that we enter, we want to buy cheap. And if we are a seller, we want to sell expensive. All right. We want to sell when it's in a premium. We want to buy when things are at a discount. That is any market. That is not just this market. That is any market around the world. Doesn't matter if it's a market for fish, if it's a market for eggs, for trainers, for electrical goods. It doesn't matter. Whatever that market is, you want to buy cheap and you want to sell expensive. Now, somebody's saying, oh my God, this is so basic. Yes, it's basic. Yeah. And some of the greatest things in life have simplicity. Okay. They are simple. Yeah, they are simple to understand the basic concepts. And it's our job as complex beings who like to overthink things, who like to overcomplicate things. It's our job that when we are looking at these charts that we try and keep the simplicity. We try and keep it as simple and clear as possible before we bamboozle ourselves, before we junacle ourselves into thinking that something's happening when it's not happening. Now, I don't care who you are. I don't care what education what script that you learn from. This market, which happens to be the Great British Pound against the United States dollar, is a bearish market, meaning that it's been making lower lows and lower highs and lower lows and lower highs and lower lows and lower highs since 2007. Nobody can tell me different, because what I've just said to you is not an opinion, it's a fact. So I'm going to take this premise. So let's forget about trading, forget about the strategy. I'm going to take this premise. I've never seen trading before. I've come here. This is all new to me, but somebody's just shown me that this market's been doing this. Have a look. Somebody said, Jay, this is a market. Said everything I've just said to you, and it's been going like this. Now, if I was a betting man, and I'll say, well, the next step's going to be here, right? It's going to be coming down in this direction, right? And then maybe after that, this direction. And then maybe after that, this direction. And like this, forever and ever and ever. That's what I'd say. That's what the market's been doing. Why is it going to do something different? So in my opinion, like I said to you, this market is going to keep doing what it has always done until it decides to do something different. Okay? Until it decides to do something different, the market's going to keep doing what it has always done, which is trading within those blue ranges, those two blue lines. I put in a third line here, just as a narrowing of that range. All right? But either way, we're at the top of that range. So for a start, that has already colored my opinion. My opinion is that we're at the top of a range, meaning that we're in a premium. And all of those people that bought when it was cheap would be looking to sell now. It's in a premium. If you had a 2012 Ford Fiesta, yeah, and it was worth, after you've done all your due diligence, you've looked on Auto Trader, you've had people look at it, it's worth, I don't know, $5,000. And for whatever reasons, Fiestas are really desirable. And you now can get, it's worth $5,000. It's been worth $5,000 for the longest time or less. And all of a sudden, someone's willing to pay you $6,500, $7,000 for the Fiesta. Do you know what the overwhelming pressure is going to be on your shoulders to do? It's to sell before they come to their senses and realize that your thing's a hot mess and really it should be worth $3,000. You're going to be like, oh, I need to sell. I need to sell as much of this, as much of these as possible right now that things are in a premium before they start to fall in price. And before you know it, man's telling you he's going to pay you $2,500 for your Fiesta. And you're like, what? A year ago, the man was going to give me $6,000. Yeah, that was a year ago, bro. So this is the same principle. So if we're in a premium right now, my initial bias is that there's a very high probability that this market may wish to sell off. If you want to get more technical about why people are selling, you're saying people are taking profits that, that bought down here, that bought at a lower price. They're taking profits. And to take your profits, if you've bought, you must sell. Does that make sense? Let me say that one more time, because once upon a time when I first started trading, it didn't make sense to me. If you've bought something, to take your profits, you have to sell out of that position. Think about it. If I bought a load of iPhone cases, to get my profits, I've got to sell out of that position. Sell some iPhone cases, to realize my profit. In trading, you don't realize profit just by just holding it. If you bought, Amazon way back when, and Amazon is like in space right now, well, on paper you've made some money, but until you sell out of that position, who knows? Amazon might tank tomorrow, and you might lose all your money. It's not likely, but you haven't realized your profits until you sell out of the position, or vice versa if it was the opposite way around. Okay, so with that said, I can see this market push down here, made a lower low. It came up into these levels and made a lower high. Now the question is this: has it finished making its lower high? Have I drawn these? And like I said, remember these lines. First thing I've got to tell you is they're not lines, they're ranges. They're areas of interest, like this. Now, someone doesn't understand that. They say, what do you mean they're areas of interest? What do you mean, Jay? You're not making no sense. Why isn't it the line? Because they're just an area that you understand that price is at a premium. So you don't mind getting 6.5 for your Fiesta. You don't mind if someone gives you 6,250. You don't mind if someone gives you $6,000. If you get 5,900, you're still happy. It's that area that you're interested in. You're not going to be like the guy comes and says, I'm going to give you 5,995. You're like, I'm not selling my $4,000 Fiesta for you for 5,995 unless you give me 5,997, because that's where the line is. That's not what will happen in real life. It's an area of interest. You will go and buy something. Oh, £10 cheap. How much do you want for it? £10.50? Yeah, bro, take the £10.50. Let me have that. It's cheap. You're not going to be like, well, I'm only taking it for £10. When typically it normally sells for 15. It's the same principle. So I'm looking at this chart, and what I have to do is I have to read and react to what's happening in this market. And I did say to you, I am concerned about some imbalance a little bit up higher than all of this sideways action. What do I mean by sideways action? I mean that the market was up here, pushed all the way down here, making its lower low, came back up here, making a higher high. Look at this. If I was to draw some lines in, like so, the market came up here, this is the highest point it made. After this lower low, this is the highest point here. If I put a little, let's put a little label on it, a little sticker. There you go. This is the highest point that this market has made after that lower low. All right. So after that highest point, we've seen the market indicate by breaking some structure over here. What do I mean by structure? I simply mean, for those of you who don't like me to get overly technical right now, is that market makes lower lows and sorry, I made higher highs and higher lows and higher highs and higher lows and higher. If I was to draw some lines, we could say that initially the market was trading within a range like this. Okay. We can see how the market narrowed, which is allowed. Some say, but why is it allowed? Things change in the world. This market got a little bit narrower. And the market was trading within this little range here. And as you can see, I'm not fussed about drawing it to the millimeter because it's just a guide. But what I can see is on that blue line, I can see some data points where a huge amount of buying came in the market because the market was falling here from hell. Look. Falling. And something happened here, bang, and the market said, no lower, mate. It said, this market is going no lower. Get rid of these alerts. Oh my God, let me go back. This market is going no lower than here. And it pushed back, made a higher high. And then the market said, are you sure? Let's try and see if we can get it lower. And right here, bang. The market said, no, bro, we are all efforts. We've got all hands on decks pushing this market higher. And once again, the market made a retracement. The market said, no further. Pushed. This is structure. At these levels, there was huge amounts of demand, buying that came into the market to push prices higher. If everybody's buying something, what happens to the price? The price gets higher. That is basic economics, supply and demand. And you know what's Sad but true, a lot of people don't understand basics of economics and supply and demand. Is what it is. Maybe you don't. Maybe you've never heard it. Maybe you've never even thought about it, but that's the basics. When more people want something and desire it, there's more demand, prices get higher. And when less people desire it, there's less demand, yeah, an oversupply of something, prices, get cheap. So when you go to your shop and your store and you see that, things have got really cheap, a certain amount of something's got very, very cheap, they've probably got a lot of it. It's either that or they're trying to clear stock, which is something else. But, they've got a lot of it. So they're like, listen, the whole crate is £1 million worth of business. We prefer to make £1 million real quick because we've got so much of it. Let's sell it at cost. Sell it just, a pound over cost because we've got 1 million of them in there. We make £1 million quickly. It's Primark's price model, business model. They create stuff on bulk. Got those poor, kids wherever they are, stitching things together for a penny. Yeah. Don't get twisted. That's what's happening behind the scenes. Yeah, your Primark garments ain't getting made in Hackney, yeah, or Stratford. They're getting made somewhere where somebody's on their knees knitting something for pennies. But they make so much of it, and it's so cheap that when they bring it into their stores on the high street and in key locations, have you seen that T-shirt in Primark? Have you seen that, I don't know, suitcase in Primark is only £18? And before you know it, Gucci's across the road trying to sell £1,000 T-shirts, which only a handful of people can go in there and buy £1,000 white T-shirt with the logo Gucci, the GG on the side. Only a handful of people are stupid enough to go and want to do that, or have the means to go and do that. But they may sell a few, and they've made $500,000 or pounds selling £1,000 Gucci shirts. So they sold 500 of them over a duration of however long. Primark sold 1 million £1 T-shirts in a weekend. And because their let me say £2 T-shirts, and because their markup was a whole pound, they made £1 million in a weekend. That's how they generate so much. Someone would ask, would you prefer to be Primark or prefer to be Gucci? Probably Primark. Killing it. I'm sure the numbers show that Primark be killing. All right. So have a look. This is the highest point. Now, since that we indicated breaking some structure, showing that potentially we want to go down. But after an indication, we understand that the markets like to indicate, they like to correct, and then they like to continue. Now, in this correctional phase, this market has decided that it wants to take a little breather and go sideways in here. Guys, I've spoken about this market so much, you guys should know this inside and out, but it's good. It means you've done an extensive case study on a single market. Read it inside and out, looked at it inside and out, and you can apply that to other markets when you're looking at it. Yeah, this should be like, you're just been kicking a tree. You've been kicking the tree, kicking the tree, kicking the tree. Have you seen them kung fu movies? Make Daniel's son just kick the tree because he learns so much in kicking the tree. After his leg starts to bleed, his technique's amazing. He starts going through all different, his determination, his grit. Just kick the tree, rude boy. You don't need to worry about page 2 and page 3 and page 4. We are on page 1. I need you to kick the tree. And only when I see you kicking the tree like an absolute lunatic, we're going to go to page 2. Because all the things that you learn from kicking the tree for 3 weeks is going to make page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so damn easy. It's going to make all those other pages so damn easy. You're going to fly through them other pages. But if you think you could just skim over kicking the tree, when you get to page 2, you're going to be like, oh, this is hard. This is tough. I don't get it. All right. So we saw the market was going sideways. We saw a liquidity grab. Nam, 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 nam. This little wick up here. And then the market started pushing back in the direction that we actually ultimately want it to go. We want it to be getting bearish. We want this to be the indication, the correction, then the continuation down here. So at the moment, if I have to draw some more lines in, we're seeing something like this. All right. Something like this at the moment. And I pull out a parallel line. If anybody's out here and you think that the next line that I'm drawing is trying to draw it like this, so I've got some 2 wonky lines like this in the range, I don't play that. It's not my swag. It's not my style of trading. I pull out a range, yeah, like a train track, parallel lines. And that gives me my guide. Now, if the market breaks outside of that guide, it means I have received new data and I will adjust my ranges accordingly. Because unfortunately, I cannot look into the future for data. I can only look into the past. I can only look backwards, look left on my chart for data. So I can see this is a data point. 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 Yeah. So I'm touching those lines and I'm pulling it parallel to where it's touched over here, the lowest point. If I get new data and start seeing the market coming up here, well, I'm going to have to adjust. Just like in life, you're going to have to adjust when you get new information. But you can't adjust on new information before you've got it. All right. So let me drop my time frame down to my 4 hour. So on my 4 hour, it's like my zoom. And my zoom has given me more information, more details. And the details that I can see in my zoom is, have a look. If I was to draw some lines, my line will have to be like this. Someone tell me why I've drawn my line like this. A little saying that I say that you can say you can remember how to draw your trend lines. Somebody tell me why I've drawn it like so. What must I do when I'm drawing in this trend line here?
Touch the last low before the highest high.
Oh, there you go. Beautiful. I must touch this last low before the highest high, because that gives me my range of where things started rocking and rolling, where huge demand came in to push it up and then huge supply came in to push it down. I must, when I'm drawing my lines from here, I want this line, this angle of this line here to touch those last lows. Now, as you zoom in, you will see more lows, because it's like I told you, the Russian doll. It's like when you're on a plane. When you're on a plane, you're high up. You can't see all the detail. You might just see some roads. And as you get closer to London, you see the cars and the houses. And you get closer, you actually see the people in the cars. And you get closer, you see more, you see more, you see more. But you have to understand the bigger picture, because from very high up, you can see that that road leads to a sea. It leads to an ocean of water. But if you was really, really close down and you was just driving at 100 miles per hour, you was in the car, you might not know that just over the horizon, just over the hill, is ocean, is cliff. You're going to go off the cliff and you're going to kill yourself because you haven't looked at the bigger picture. You're just in your car, small, driving at 100 miles per hour. You're like, bro, like, if you looked at the bigger picture, you'd be slowing down right now because there's a cliff over there. That's the Russian doll. That's the understanding that the markets are fractal. There's a bigger thing going on. Then there's something else going on inside that bigger thing. Then there's something else going on inside that bigger, that small, that medium thing. Then there's something else going on inside that smaller thing, and so on and so forth. So on this 4 hour time frame, I'm drawing some lines in here, and I can see the market pushed up here. This is the highest point. And then from here, the market started to break some minor structure. Let's have a look at that structure again. The exact same thing we did on a bigger picture. Now we're now doing on a smaller picture. Because I can see here that we've got this wick all the way down here. We've got this little level all the way down here. Now on a 4 hour time frame, the structure is down here, but the market hasn't closed below it. So I can confidently say that the market is trading within this 4 hour structure of this high and these lows over here. The market is in this box. Now, if I drop to my 1 hour, I may be able to see more structure. Just have a look now. Now we can see this market, when it came from here, made a little higher high, made a little bit of a higher low. This little wick was a little bit concerning to me. It's a little bit messy in here. It is. Okay. But ultimately, the market is trading within this range, meaning that within this range, down here is a discount. Up here is a premium. In an ideal world, I would want to be, well, if you want to trade consolidation, that is, because it's not necessarily advised. Most people don't want to trade consolidation, especially if, let's have a look how big this consolidation is. It's 170 pips. It's considerable. It's not a small range for GU. But ultimately, I'd be looking to sell from the top and to buy from the bottom if I was trading consolidation. If I have the patience to wait for this market to actually get bullish or bearish, hopefully bearish, I will be waiting for this market to break down below, unfortunately now, this wick. Look, is it a coincidence that here is the structure? And the market has come down here, it's wicked down here, hasn't broken the structure. It's wicked over here, hasn't closed down below this structure. It even got excited over here and wicked all the way down here, nam, 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 nam. But didn't close down here. It means that over here, there's some real demand, unfilled orders of demand of people going, push. Every time it comes down here, someone's going, pushing it back. They don't want it to come down here. But let me tell you something. If there's enough pressure, if there's enough selling pressure from here, after a while, you see those guys that are pushing down here, they're going to get tired. They're going to have enough. They're going to be like, bro, I'm done, bro. Can't keep pushing from here. The orders that are here, after a while, will get filled. Let me explain this concept to you so you understand. Everywhere on the black screen, everywhere on this black screen, there are unfilled orders. Now, I want you to process this in your mind. All this means is that let's imagine that this is a shop. This is a patty shop. This isn't GU. This is for beef patties, cheesy beef, vegetable patties, saltfish, all the good, the flaky one. I heard there's a new brand in is it Lidl? I'm hearing my mum talking about is it Lidl? Like there's a black brand and they're doing patties. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? It's been going around virally. Like, oh my God, there's this brand. They're doing patties in Lidl. They're flying off the shelf. Has anybody heard this? Or is this my family?
I have.
You've heard about this. This is good. If that is the truth, and we've got a villager that's got a brand in Lidl's, let's go and support. But supposedly they are nice, supposedly, and they are flying off the shelf in Lidl to the point where they sold out and people couldn't get none and they're waiting for them to re-up. And I was like, go on. So this is a market for patties. And every single place on this black screen, have a look. There are different orders. Sister Abana's placed some orders down here. She said, listen, let me tell you something. When them patties get to £1.25, I need to buy me 100. Yeah. And there's someone else who said, when they get to £1.15, I need 20 of them. Someone says, listen, I heard these patties are delicious. When they get to £1.35, buy me 10 of them. Someone else who's selling them, he says, listen, let me tell you something. I've got all of these patties here. And when they get to £1, 65, let's just sell. Let's get rid of as much as we can. There are unfilled orders everywhere on this black screen. Hence the reason why this market goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Because it's filling the order, filling this order, filling the sell order, filling the buy order, filling the sell order. Do you understand? Do you understand what's happening here? People want patties, but they want them at certain prices. And there's different people need different quantities, different volumes. The person who sold from up here, he sold enough for them. He had a big, massive order of sell orders. He said, I want to sell 1,000 up here. Hence the reason why we saw this big move from up here all the way down here. So these unfilled orders, after a while, there's going to be no orders over here at £1.25. So therefore, the market's going to come down here. And when it gets to that level, there's no orders to push it back in direction. Then what does it do? Breaks past that level until it hits some other orders. Dwayne decided that he's not paying no more than £1.10 for any patty. He doesn't give a damn what they taste like. But when they do get to £1.10, he's got a little deep pockets. He wants to buy 500. He's buying it for all the Soca crew. He's buying it for everybody. He's buying 500 of them down here. And when it hits that price, boom, we see a reaction because Dwayne had an unfilled order for a large amount. And I've just explained to you, when people are buying, when there's lots of buying happening in any market, prices go up. This is basic economics. This isn't like sci-fi. This isn't like, quantum mechanics. This is basics. But what happens is we see these lines, these zigzags, these candles, we hear about these numbers, we see all this stuff up here, high, low numbers, this, minus, plus percentages, and we start over complicating it, overthinking it. So I'm saying right now that I understand that this market is currently trading within a range. Let me tell you something for free. If I was looking at this range over here and this market came down here, I would be interested to see what happened here. And I'd be seeing whether or not we are getting a break of structure bullish. Have a look at my lines. Have a look at my lines. Look, from up here, I'm going to draw a line like this. Look. Someone's asking me, but Jay, why did you draw your line like that? Because I must touch the last high before the lowest point. And it just is a coinky-dink. What a coincidence that angle also touches this data point, and this data point absolutely perfectly. What a coincidence. So I would be sitting here thinking to myself, if I drop my time frame, have a look. I'd be thinking to myself two things. I am now in a discount within this sideways range if I was planning on trading the consolidation. But either way, I'm showing you the same principles of the market over and over again. So therefore, if I'm thinking that this is a discount, and I know that there's some hungry hippos out there, they're trying to buy as much things as possible in a discount, I am going to be waiting for a break of the structure. Have a look at the structure. This was the last high. As I've zoomed in now, I've got more detail. High before this low's low. Watch the indication. Boom. Candle closed above this here. This is the indication. Then what are we waiting for next? Come say it out loud. Say it together. Say it in unison. If I had you guys in class, it'd be like that. All together. What happens after the indication?
Correction.
Correction. So when you're watching this trade, like when you are here, actually in this market, you think to yourself, you know what? I'm waiting for this market to break out this consolidation, but I'm itching to have a trade. I think market might consolidate for a little while. You're sitting here looking at it. You're waiting for a correction. So watch, have a look. You're not, when you saw this big green candle, you're not getting excited like the YouTube traders. The YouTube traders are getting excited right now. They're like, oh my gosh, it's ready. Now we're going to buy. Fear of missing out. FOMO, fear of missing out. They're going to be hitting the button for a buy. Not you. You need confirmations. You're a professional trader. You work based upon probability, based upon understanding that you have your strategy. Have a look. You wait. You start to see red candles coming. You're thinking of this could be the correction you're looking for. Coming and closing the imbalance that formed in between these 1, 2, 3 candles. There is imbalance in here, but look, this market's coming here, close the imbalance. You're waiting now for a continuation, a closure above where the market closed on its indication. That's what you're waiting calmly. You're not even stressing. You put a little alert here. You right click this level here. Yeah, you put a little alert in here. And this is on a 15-minute time frame. This isn't even a 5-minute time frame, which you're allowed to get down to get a better entry. But who cares? What? Shall we go? You're waiting. Yeah, the market's still going down. All the YouTube traders goes, oh my gosh, it's going down now. You're not. You're calm. You got your strategy. You're waiting. This might be the continuation. Maybe. You're waiting. You're calm. You're patient. Uh-oh, hello. You're waiting for a closure, not a wick. You want a closure above. Looking good. Maybe you're even still, you're more calm. You want a closure above that level. Let's have a look. Here at this point in here was a closure above this level here. This candle over here is also a closure. Either way, whichever one you want to take on a 5-minute time frame, we get a better entry. I want to show you in a minute. But have a look. Let's imagine that you hit that button there. You're in. You place your stop below. It's 2 scenarios. Your aggressive stop is below the last low. All right, which is this wick here. Your medium stop is below where the market indicated corrected originally, especially in this instance, as it was kind of trickling. And your safer stop is all the way below this swing low. This is your choice. And what I normally do is I put it in here and I sort of show you the conclusion of taking all these 3 different options. So you can start saying, rah, man, the aggressive entry gets stopped out quite a lot. The safer option doesn't. So this would be the aggressive option on a 15-minute time frame. This is the medium option and the safe option is down here. All right, let's have a look. Let's have a look and see what happens. I hit play. Let's have a look. Aggressive option is good. Even when it's pushed down here, your aggressive option. Look at that. Even when the market decided to make a big old retracement, maybe there was news, maybe something happened where we got this big spike down here, we didn't violate this level. Is that a coinky dink? Or is that our strategy showing us where we indicated, corrected, and we continued, and this was the last low over here when we got that closure? Yeah? Let's have a look. See what happens. Well, we know what happens, that market continues to push up. Happy days. In this scenario, even your aggressive entry was great, had no issues. And you're moving into great profits there, yeah, as the market pushes up. Let me show you this same trade real quick on a 5-minute and then even a 1-minute entry. Why am I showing you this? I'm showing you this because I'm trying to show you that the market is fractal. Does the same stuff over and over and over and over again. It just that as it gets smaller, just like anything, it gets a little bit difficult for you to see, for you to handle. Just imagine that you was, if you was making, you was creating one of those puzzles and you had big, massive pieces. So it's kind of easy. There's only 4 pieces in the puzzle. One goes here, one goes there. As you get smaller and smaller and smaller, you get some tiny little pieces like that. There's a million pieces. It gets more difficult, but it's the same principle. You got to put the shape of one puzzle to fit into the shape of its adjoining, counterpart. That's the same principle. That the rules don't change. It's just a bit more difficult to see. Have a look here on the 5-minute time frame. The same way here, this would have been my high now on the 5-minute time frame because we've got more detail. This is my last high over here, this little scribble. Indication, correction, and now we can see a very clear, it's not very clear, but we can see a closure over here. It's not very clear. I'd like to see it clearer than that, but we can see a lovely 5-minute closure right there, meaning that risk that you was taking on a 15-minute time frame can now be a little bit smaller from here to here, and that is only 30 pips. All right, it's only 30 pips. Let's go and try and see if we can see it on a 1 minute. I don't think we will be able to, but let's see. Okay, let's see. All right, just to show you guys how there is nothing stopping you from being able to get into these trades very aggressively. However, my advice was learn how to win first. Like just learn how to take trades that win, that are profitable before you start getting greedy and want to get aggressive. Okay, so have a look how we take this trade. The market indicates up here on a larger time frame. This is how we take the 1 minute trade. We understand that the market is going to correct. We are trying to get involved at the point, the exact point when the market starts to continue. So let, for example, like this, if I was to draw some lines in here like so, it's not the best lines, okay? It's not the best lines. Here's one range, and ultimately the other range is kind of like this. It's kind of like from here to here. Why is it like that? Because I'm trying to touch that last high before the lowest point. Now you may not be able to see it, but I'm showing you that this little dot here, this little wick high is the last high before this lowest point. I'm going to zoom in so you can see. Now you can't see it great here on this chart on a 1 minute. But if I went to, for example, my 30 seconds or 15 seconds, it'll be very clear. You see a nice little mountain coming up here and then a mountain pushing down here. Okay. Now, either way, on the 1 minute, I'm staying on 1 minute for now. I'm not going to go any smaller than that. You would be waiting for your indication, which in this instance, unfortunately, is all the way up here. Indication, obviously closing and breaking above some minor structures in here. Minor structure in here. Minor structure here. This is a major structure. All right. Now, if you want to be safer, you want to break above this major structure, okay, which unfortunately takes us all the way up here. So that was a break above this major structure. This market came down here. I don't really like the fact that we've broken this little minor 1 minute structure in here. If we was looking at this minor structure, this is the indication. All right. This is some kind of correction. And then you're waiting for a close above this wick, which you've got over here. Then you could have all incidences. Every single way I look at this, you're still in the money. If you put there with your stop below here, you're still in the money. If you waited because you wanted to close above this major structure that was touching, all right, which is touching the point here, which is fair enough. That would have been an indication, but because the market started breaking its previous minor structure here, you couldn't just wait for another close above this high. You'd have to wait for this again on a smaller time frame. So have a look at it, see if we get it again. Indication, correction, continuation. That could have been your, have a look, could have been a smaller 1 minute entry here. Okay, with your stop below the last low would have been here. All right, now understand this much, especially when you get on a smaller time frame. When you start placing your stops under small time frames, what must you be concerned about? What is a really big concern that immediately when you place in your stops, especially on smaller time frames, because have a look, I can just see underneath this low here, all I can see is green candle, green candle, green candle, green candle, green candle, green candle. What do you think all these green candles, when you add them together, might create?
Imbalance.
It might create an imbalance. And if you're taking a high risk aggressive entry, you have got to be aware that the market likes to fill imbalances. So even if I was to use, I'm going to use this little tool here so I don't have to draw each one. It's going to show me the imbalances. Have a look. Okay, it's not working. Maybe it's not. Oh, maybe it doesn't show me in a 1 minute for some reason. Let's have a look. I'm go to my 2-minute time frame. It's a bit strange that it doesn't show me in a 1 minute, but it's an indicator. This is the problem with indicators, is that you're relying on indicator to work, whereas when we don't have any indicators and we can just use our eyeballs because we understand market structure and price action, that we can see it for ourselves. So let me get back to where I was and let me simply look at it for myself. Yeah, you can see it now. You can see it now. All right. Yeah, you can see it now. It's correction. Yes, can you see this? There's imbalances in here. So before, when this market started coming, we got our indication. Sorry, I'm lying. We was up here. Yeah. We had an indication. We had a correction. We had a continuation here. Before this market, oh, I know why. The market's not showing it because the imbalance has been closed. Sorry, yeah. So it does work. I was bad minding it. There was imbalance that it was underneath here. Look. In between here, there's an imbalance that was here to draw it for you. Have a look. This is an imbalance in between here and here. Just like this is an imbalance. Just like this down here is an imbalance. So there's quite a lot of imbalance. If I was to just make this a 5-minute time frame, this is all going to look like imbalance. Look where the market came down to do, came to close the imbalance. If I go to my 1-minute time frame, you'll see how this wick stops right on closing the imbalance. So this always becomes a concern. You would have caught some pips if you decided to get in here. The market did move in your direction, but then the market came and closed the imbalance. So this is showing you the concerns about when you're on a smaller time frame. You're on a smaller time frame, 1-minute time frame, but you're not considering 5-minute or 15-minute or whatever it may be imbalance. You see it? So even if I was looking at a 1-minute time frame, look at it on the 5-minute. That's why I zoomed out. Look, how difficult is it going to be for you to place your stop here below this red line when you can see this big imbalance here? Obviously, I've drawn them in separately when it was on a smaller time frame, but look at it as one big imbalance. How you're looking at this big, massive ocean, this big, massive problem in here. So you have to take that into consideration and place your stop below this level here. If you're safe, you place it below the low, but you have to place it. Either way, guys, this is still a great trade. This is between 15 and 20 pips. And on that basis, you're taking that trade. You know what happens. The rest is history. Market goes in your direction. Why? Because you took a buy from a discount. Yeah. Now, I'm not trying to advocate for necessarily trading this consolidation. I probably would have, because it's 170 pips. It's a big range. But I know that ultimately at some point, this market, price has to break outside of this sideways market. The market can't go sideways forever. So right now I'm watching this market moving forward now coming to present day. If I just do this, present day. I know that this market cannot stay trading within this yellow box forever. So what I could do is I can wait for it to break outside this box to show me what it wants to do. Maybe it wants to go up here. Maybe it really does want to go and capture this imbalance over here. Have a look. There's a little bit of imbalance in here. Here's my tools. Yeah, maybe it's a bit imbalance. And there's an imbalance actually above in this, which I don't believe it wants to come up in here, but there's imbalance in this stretch of red candles. All right. Or I can get very aggressive with it. Have a look. Drawing my lines once again. As the market makes a lower low, a lower high. Is it going to make a lower low? So I'm looking, even though we're inside the range, and to be fair, like I said, in fact, let me not even say that. It's too advanced. I'd be waiting. I'll be placing my alerts below here. All right. And waiting for this market to break outside of this yellow range. So I'm going to place one here, crossing down. I'm going to place one all the way up here, crossing up. Maybe it wants to go and wick into that imbalance, capture some liquidity, maybe. And I'm going to wait for that alert to ring off. Now, the reason why I said it's too advanced is this. This is ultimately in the middle of this consolidation range, which I do not want you taking trades from the middle of the range. Yeah. But it's also 50% of the range, which the markets come back up to after breaking some minor structure, not on a 4-hour time frame, on a smaller time frame. So right here, this push down, I'm hoping that we see this. That's what I'm hoping to see. And if I was very aggressive, I could be looking for a trade on a smaller time frame right now as price, have a look, indicated, corrected, and continued out of what? This consolidation, this sideways action in here. This market was ultimately going sideways in here. Now, for what it's worth, I don't think I can see it. I don't think I can really see the indication because it's kind of broke out from within it. All right, unless I get very small, it's hiding something from me. Yeah, unless I get very small, which it's unnecessary. This market's pushed out of here very aggressive. It's fine because that big old red push here. What am I expecting to see? I'm expecting to see some sort of correction. I'm expecting to see some sort of continuation. I'm expecting to see that market continue towards this discounted area and ultimately, hopefully, break through it. But the reason why I've told you guys to wait till it actually breaks through it is because it might just get back into the discount again. There's some more unfilled orders that wasn't filled. Might decide to do that again. Might decide to just consolidate in that because it's in the yellow box. This is just understanding the bigger picture. I do not know for facts it's going to break outside of this yellow box right now. I don't know. I want it to, but I don't know. Yeah, I haven't got high probability. Now, I could potentially take a trade if this incorrects and continues and sell it down into this area, which is what I do, which is what I would do. I may take a trade managing my risk and sell it down into this area. But when I get down here, I'm going to be eager to protect my position because it might do this and then do this. And maybe I don't want to sit in this retracement. Yeah. Or better still, the best option, I'll repeat one last time, is to wait for it to break outside this box. Okay, let me go look at something else real quick. Yeah, let's go look at something else real quick. Another pair. All right, let's look at gold. I can't remember what we said about gold yesterday. All right, I can't remember what we said about gold. I took no trades yesterday, 0 trades. Looking interesting, mental. All right, so there's lots of teaching I can see going on in here. Lots of, which way we see the market going, etc. Let's zoom all the way out. Let's zoom all the way out and try and see if we can remember what I want. I know it's a mess, so I'm going to clear it in a minute. But ultimately, I can see that we're saying that gold has been bullish, trading within this yellow range. It's come up to the top of this range, which happens to also be the top of this blue range, which also happened to be the top of this green range up here, this smaller green range. And we had a reaction, making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And that allowed us to create this range, these two yellow thicker lines, saying this market is trading within this yellow range. And ultimately, what we may see is this market trade down within this range, back down to this yellow line here within this range. That's what we've said. So therefore, when we was looking at the market, let me start deleting stuff now, cleaning it up. All right, we put these lines in here for potential targets. Okay. When we was looking at this area here, we're saying that right now at the top, potentially a premium, this red band of this yellow dot dashed line. And potentially we may be looking for opportunities, i.e. the markets, to indicate, correct, and continue into a direction to allow us to make some profits. All right? To make some monies. GBP USD still pushing down, okay? To make some money, okay? So as we can see here on a 1 hour time frame, this market started to push down here, and you're going to have to look quite carefully to see where the structure is in here. And what do I mean quite carefully? It's another word for you need to zoom in. If you can't see it quickly with your eyes, which I can see that this is structure here, that there's structure, beneath here, that there's structure in here. I can see that with my eyes, but if you haven't looked at enough of these charts, you might have to zoom in. And when we zoom in, we can see, if I go to my 15-minute time frame, which is zooming in, now we can see the structure a bit better. Look how nice it looks. Up, down, up, down. We can see these little down parts, these little steps. And the market broke past this step, corrected, trickled down, closed below, and then had a nice little, very tight little run all the way down here. Broke past this step here. As soon as it broke past this step, it corrected back up to where? The green range that we drew. And then at the moment, we can see that the market is actually going sideways, has been going sideways in here. This is gold. Market's been, just thinking about it. It was Monday yesterday, thinking about what it wants to do, going sideways inside her. And once again, the same with the GU. All we need to do is wait to see what this market does. We could try and get involved in the consolidation, but that's like we just put ourselves in the middle of a war zone. The battle is going on. Are we going up? Are we going down? Are we going up? Are we going down? This is a war zone. There is no clear winner. Let me tell you something. When I see that war going on, I'm trying to go, that team looks like they're going to win the war. I'm going to roll with them. I've got family. I'm not going to go with a team that's getting blown to bits. Sorry. So we want to wait to see who's got the edge. Right now in this consolidation, we don't know who's got the edge. They're fighting. Look at this fight that was going on in here. Up and down, up and down, up and down. Sell, order to buy, order to sell, order to buy, going sideways some more. Okay, we're going up now. Yeah, the buyers are winning. No, actually they're not. The sellers are coming back in. We're going sideways again. Now the sellers are winning. This is a war zone. Why do I want to be in the war zone? Why not wait till I start seeing, okay, we took the general. Okay, we're going in this direction. Okay, I'm going to jump on that gravy train. Or vice versa. This is why people don't traditionally want to trade in consolidation, because there is a battle going on. There's no clear winner. If I was to drop very, very small to our 1 minute time frame, you'll see that right now, this is a hell of consolidation going on again. This market is consolidating inside the consolidation, inside of another consolidation. Yeah? So once again, I'm going to place an alert over here when the market crosses down below here. And I'm going to place an alert over here when the market crosses up above her. That's simple. Those alerts will be my eyes and ears in the market. I'm not going to have to stand there just looking at it forever. Look, this market might decide it wants to come up in here, close some imbalance. You see all these red candles? Boom, 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 boom. If I go to a larger time frame, have a look on the 4 hour. Remember, in imbalances, you're looking for 3 candles and you're looking for the gap in between. Have a look at the 3 candles. 1, 2, 3. In between, on that second candle, in between here and here is imbalance. Look at the candle just above it. If we move one over and count that as the middle candle. 1, 2, 3. On that number 2, once again, in here, in between here and here is imbalance. Do not get it twisted. Even if this market wants to come down, it can decide to go up first and then go down. So this is why at least I'm conscious of this. At least I know there's a cliff ahead. So I'm like, yo, Jermaine, slow down, bro. Why? I'm driving at 120. It's the new thing. I know there's a cliff over that hill. So slow down. Okay, thanks, bro. At least we know that by understanding these concerns, these areas, these points of interest, so that when the market does push in here, and it might happen quick, it might be a quick push. There might be some news comes out. It might be a slow push where you're able to get in. We might see the market capture some liquidity first here, down here, but it doesn't indicate correct and continue. It just captures liquidity and it starts breaking structure bullishly. And you may be able to get in here as the market very nicely just trickles back up in here. Getting a lot, don't get twisted in gold. If you're able to catch this move of it trickling all the way back up here into imbalance, this is a lot of pips. From here to up into this level here, for argument's sake, is a hell of pips. Thousands of pips in gold. Okay, because the metric's slightly different with gold. Yeah. So therefore, I'm waiting to see what happens. If we break this level here, I'm going to be watching to see is it an indication correction continuation or just a liquidity grab for it to go and push in the opposite direction. Yeah, and vice versa. Does that make sense? Have I made sense this morning? I know I started a little bit late, but have I made sense to somebody? Has somebody been watching it and been like, oh my God, I'm getting this?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, that's all I really want for you lot is to click. Because you know, with this trading journey for me, Jivan, and anybody else who's listening, it's like, yes, I work on it every single day. And by me teaching it to you guys helps reinforce it in my head. Okay. And it helps me learn more, makes me want to learn more, makes me want to watch, you know, other things so I can be better. Yeah. But your journey and your growth is not necessarily incremental. Sometimes it takes a leap. Like I swear there was a point my child was on all fours crawling and then it was just up walking around. He was just getting active, or he was just talking like a baby and then he just came home and just started saying something to me, or his mannerisms are just like a grown man. And I was like, Where did this guy turn up from? Like your development sometimes can take leaps. It's because you've got all the bits. You understand what I'm saying? It's like you've got all the bits to the watch. But certain times, if you don't just get that one bit, as soon as you put that one bit, all of a sudden, the second hand starts ticking. But without that one little bit clicking, nothing ain't moving in that watch. Because you just don't get one part of it. As soon as you get that bit, you can take leaps and bounds. Now, all of a sudden, you're trading now. And where you would have jumped in, you're not jumping in. And you're seeing to yourself, you're seeing in the chart, if you did jump in there, you would have got stopped out. So therefore, if you're now able to fix that, all of a sudden now you're no longer losing money. And then you get to the point where you're no longer losing money. And all you want to know is that here's the phases. The phases are, I think Jason identified these phases to me. It's like you get your account, whether it's a demo account, whether it's a live account, whether it's a prop firm account, and you're blowing it. In fact, there's even more phases, probably like double the amount of phases. You get to the point where you're blowing it because you don't know what you're doing. You're just gambling. You're getting excited. You're just blowing it. You don't know what you're doing. Then you get to the point where you're trying to apply the strategy and you're still blowing it. You know, it's not quite clicking yet. And then you move on to the next phase whereby you're applying the strategy, and but every so often your psychology gets the best of you, so that you're no longer really losing money, but you're not really making any money. So you lose $1,000, you make $1,000, you lost $2,000, and you made 1,500, and then you made 500, and you're back to zero. And then like, because your psychology is still getting the best of you, you're still not taking the best trades. You're still not selling from a premium, buying from a discount. You're still not waiting for candles to close. You're still not taking into consideration the sessions and when the sessions start. You're still not glimpsing over here to your My 4 FX book and seeing what news is on today that might affect my trade. You're still not quite getting it, but you're not losing any money. This is great progress. Yeah, you're just kind of dancing around. And then you're going to get to the point where you start to make money. And when you start to make money, once again, the psychology starts to burn again, because now you think you've made it. You're God, that you're Messi. You think you're the Ronaldo of trading. And Jay starts saying, yeah, stick within your 1%, wait till candles close. But because you now can be making some money, and yesterday you made 5%, you say, screw Jay, screw the strategy. I'm Ronaldo. I can Bennett top bins from anywhere. And you're going to take some licks again, and you're going to lose some money. You might even pass a challenge and then blow the account. You might even, pass one part of the challenge, but you didn't pass the second phase. You might have had a great day of trading or a few days of trading, then you had a terrible day. You was on tilt, losing money. And then you're going to get to the point whereby you calm down. You making some money is not a new thing. It's not something that you start phoning home about. It's not something that you start taking screenshots with your money like that on your shoulder, pretending that your money's a phone. Guys, let me tell you something. See, man who got real money. I've never seen Jeff Bezos. I've never seen any man like that really making money on the picture like that with a stack of £50 notes, pretending that it's a mobile phone like that with the Instagram putting it up on it. You know why? Because it's just normal. Making that dough is normal. The man from the bits that has never made that money before, or want to impress people who have never made that kind of money before, are showing you 10 grand in £10 notes and £20 notes on their arm. It's 10 grand.
Word, bro.
It's not 10 million quid. It's not going to help them. Let me say, them same man that are showing you money like that, stacks like that, Mumsy's standing at the bus stop in the rain with bare as the shopping bags.
Done out here.
Trying to get to the 13th floor of her council property. No disrespect to anybody who's living in the council property. You get my point. But because they have so little, or because they're trying to impress people that have so little, this becomes a thing.
Yeah.
It's the same with this trading thing. You're going to get to a point where you making $1,000, making $2,000, making $3,000. It's like, you're going to be more upset that you got in that trade too early and you went against your strategy. The fact that it happened to go in your direction and make you some money becomes our tool. Just like a carpenter. You're not going to go to a carpenter and you're going to be like, "Rah, bro, you got so much wood in here. Bro, you got wood on the floor. There's wood shavings. You've got oak." He's going to be like, "Bro, wood's my tool." If you go to a bakery, there's flour and eggs and bits of pastry everywhere. That's their tool. Money is our tool. We use money to make more money. If we lose 1,000, who gives a damn? We make 10 to 5,000, did okay today. Because we know that 1,000 is only a small percentage of the amount of money that we have. So losing 1,000 is, Who cares? I'll get it tomorrow. We also know that we don't have to overtrade psychology because tomorrow is going to be happen. And when tomorrow and the sun comes up, the market's going to be moving again. So I don't need to stay up all day long and my eyes bleeding over trading because tomorrow the sun's going to come up again and there's another opportunity. But I understand until you've experienced it, until you've gone through the process of going, oh, today I had a 10 grand day, 5 grand day, or today I lost a bit of money. Because remember, the markets can just go against you. It's not always your fault. You don't know what's happening out here. You're just using probability. Yeah. The weatherman doesn't know what's going to happen. He's just using probability to say that today he thinks it's going to be sunny. But you come out today and it's raining. What should you do? Should you go and give him a big slap? Should you go and call him a waste man? Should you chase him down the street, say, yo, you're just a scam artist. You don't know what you're doing. He's going to say, bro, I use the tools that I have to my disposal. It said that there was warm front coming from here and there was humidity in the air, and it said it should have rained. The fact that somehow that cloud was blown away further down, down the East Coast and you never got rain is out of my control. That's why we manage our risk as traders. Because if we knew what was going to happen, why would we manage our risk? Why wouldn't I tell you that right now there's an indication, correction, continuation, put 100% of your account on the trade? You're going to make a lot more money that way. Put absolutely everything you own, take off your watch, your earrings, your everything, go and put everything on Vinted, sell everything and put everything on the trade to go bearish. Why wouldn't I say that? I don't say that because we don't know what the market's going to go and do. So I'm saying to you, there is these cycles and you need to understand where you are in these cycles. Are you at the point right now whereby you just you got the strategy, but every so often you just do something else? I spoke to Jivan, I'm sure he doesn't mind me saying. I said, bro, you know the strategy. I said, stick to the strategy. He told me he was taking a trade and a couple of trades he took. He didn't have a stop loss. I said, bro, you've never seen me in the morning tell you guys that to take a trade and you don't have to put a stop loss in. I've never said it, not once. Run the tapes back. I've never, ever said it. I always say you must have a stop loss because you must quantify your risks. You can't have open-ended risk. You see me? I'm going on holiday in a couple of weeks. If I stand around there's some thing there that you can jump off the thing and fly through the air and do a madness, and I'm thinking to myself that I might dead. I got to look over my shoulder and see my two sons, my missus. I got to price it up. I got to be like, it's not worth it. I'm not on it. It's not my ego. I got nothing to prove to you, rude boy. You got no kids. You got no nothing going on. You like jumping from cliff to cliff. But you see me, if I drop on dead myself, it's not just me. It's the same principle. You don't want to have open-ended risk. Yeah, if I'm looking at worst case scenario, I might fall, might bust might graze my knee, and no problem. For the thrill, for the benefit, for the reward of being able to achieve that, I'll do that, no problem. Same, you don't want open-ended risk. And Jivan turned around and said to me he's taking trades without capping his risk. He felt the negatives of having that open-ended risk, and it made him blow one of his accounts. But he learned from it. And the whole point is, like I said to you, it's easy if I try and tell you so that when it happens, you can say, oh, damn, Jay told me about that. But I also know that just like a child, you've got to put your hand in the fire. I can tell you it's hot all day long, but it's when you put your hand in the fire, you go, oh, rah, okay, I get it. I know why daddy's been telling me not to do that now. Yeah, because that is the learning. That is the difference between people learning the theory of trading and people learning the practical of trading. People learning the theory of what you're supposed to be doing to get muscles, and people actually going to the gym and being like, right, this is actually hurts the day after. This is what it feels like to do a hard workout, not what just reading the book say. Yeah. So therefore, all of these things that you do in the morning, all these times when you're showing up and you think to yourself, why am I showing up? Why am I here? Why am I on Breakfast Club? You're building those muscles up, because there's going to come to a time when you get to the promised land where you start to make money. Yeah. Let's imagine that you even get one payout. 130 grand payout from your 100k account, and they pay you out 20 something grand. Let me ask you, which one of your other brethren that you've known before you've known me has made you 30 grand? Point them out.
True.
Yeah, point them guys out. You know, your boys, your homies, they're down for you to do whatever. What they want to do for you is show you a way in which you can feed your family and feed yourself. That's what they want to do for you. You're a big boy now. This is why we are in these, or the big girl also. This is why we're in these circles where we can empower each other and we can learn some new things. I put a little video in the group this morning of a guy who was doing his girl's hair, his daughter's hair, and he was teaching us certain things. And it's lovely to see. because ultimately he's trying to change the narrative. You know, if she knows that at that age, that's going to make her, when she goes and she wants to go and buy that Chanel bag, not to say there's anything wrong with Chanel bag, apart from the fact that you are putting money in someone else's family and not into your own. She's going to think to herself, am I buying an asset? Am I buying a liability? Do I need these type of things? Can I invest money? This is amazing thing to see. I know it's just a little meme, but what you're doing right now is you're doing the same things, because your brethren are sleeping right now, or they're playing PlayStation, or they're just on the walking to work, listening to music, listening to what football. Someone asked me the other day about football. Guys, for all the football fans here, I'm not trying to knock you guys at all. But I said to the guy, I said, listen, I kind of fell out of love with football when I became a man. Because for me, I couldn't understand somebody being so passionate, crazy, know what size what foot size they got, how much they were sold for on loan, whether they did this, whether they did that, for another grown man who's running around making 200 grand a week, and I'm here trying to pay bills, but yeah, I've got all my energy into what your foot size is. Like, don't get twisted. You can enjoy sports. I'm not disputing that. Enjoy sports. But I'm talking about, you know, them guys there, they'll throw the remote control of the TV and break their TV if they lose a match. And they want to tell you every single word and name and what the guy's middle name is and who he's married to and where he moved on loan. I'm just like, bro, no disrespect, yeah? But life is starving out here, bro. Like, maybe you should put some energies into trying to work out how you're going to sort out that hole in the roof, bro, because it's raining right now, bro. There's water coming in. I want to be around people that's going to empower me to be able to progress, to develop, you know? And I think that's what we do here every single morning. And it makes me happy when I hear Sister Abana answer the questions confidently. Jason, moving, Trader, Jiva coming on board, seeing what's going on, understanding. The new people that come in here and they send me messages like, oh, thanks for that session. It makes me happy. It's like I'm doing my bit, as well as me and myself on my own personal development journey. Because I am far from finished article. And there's lots of things I'm trying to achieve and do. Do you understand what I'm saying? I found it, I'll tell you, I can be open and honest with you guys, and I can bear part of me. I found it very difficult managing my time very well since I've had kids. I'll be honest with you. I find it very difficult making, like, just being able to, and since COVID, of maybe not being in my office and being at home more. It's been like a real learning curve for me. Being able to manage my time and balance my projects and doing certain things. I've got to run, take my kids here, like it's a strain, but my kids come first for me. I'm family first, but it's still difficult because I need to come first. Really, I still need to be, you know, if I don't come first, I can't. If I don't have a $5, I can't buy my kids nothing for a $5. But it's been difficult. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, and these pressures do bear down on you because you're trying to be better. You're trying, oh my God, a week's gone past, I still haven't done X, or that's gone past, I still never went and did this, or blah 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 blah. Because we're all not the finished article. We're all trying to work on ourselves, you get what I'm saying? But when I'm around good people, and I'm around, man, Jason would give me a little call, and Jivan would hit me a little message, and Sister Abana will send me a little something. This means I've just widened my circle of people that want me to develop. You get what I'm saying? They want to help me. Sister Abana's going to send me something that helps me. Jivan's going to send me something, have you seen this? Or Jason's going to have you watch this, or we're going to watch something together. Guys, seriously, I've got enough man that are going to say, yeah, they're down for me and want to come to my rave and bust drinks and jump in my big car and we can drive around. I've got enough of those people. I could fill my house many times over with people like that. But how many people are out here like that girl, that guy's teaching his daughter, teaching her things that are going to help her, or teaching her how to better manage your... Remember, guys, what we're learning here, guys, you might find that the skills that you learn here, you transfer them into something completely different. You're great at managing risk. Maybe you're great at buying businesses because you're able to assess certain things. You're able to look at certain things. You're able to look at the treasury. Maybe you start investing in stocks. Maybe it is Forex. Maybe you make some money in Forex, then move into something else. Who knows? But the bottom line, this is where you're cutting your teeth. Just like when you used to go to school every day to try and learn subjects that you never used in real life. This is a subject that you can use in a real life that can actually have immediate rewards to be able to allow you to achieve your goals and your dreams. But guys, good morning. God bless. I did start off a little bit later, so we moved on a little bit. I know people are falling off and stuff in the group, but just be proud and happy that you are here, learning. And I know sometimes we have loads of people in the group, sometimes we have, but we always have our soldiers, and I think they're all here on the call, bar a few, all right? And I'd just like to wish you guys a great day of trading. In regards to news, we have got red folder Euro news happening in 16 minutes. We've got USD news happening at 1:30. and at 3 o'clock. So if you are trading, just understand that you can see some additional volatility coming in the market at those times. Maybe that's when we see our spikes up in gold, in USD, or maybe that's when we'll see some GBP USD doing something else. Let me have a quick glimpse at GBP USD before we finish up, just to see what it's done. There was an alert that rang, but I ignored it. Oof. All right. So we saw this push happen. It kept pushing on a 50-minute time frame.
I got in that sell, you know.
Okay, no problem. If you got in that, so just once you got in for the right reasons, yeah, once you saw it do something that you wanted to see it do, that's all that's important. All right. Do expect to see a retracement and a potential continuation, but just understand that if you got into that trade, you got in the middle of some consolidation, but you was able to take this trade based upon if it has done the right thing. I can't see it. I've got a feeling that maybe it was early, or either it's on a very small time frame.
It was
last night's different. Last night's different because I don't know when then. All right. That's all good. Just manage your risk, make sure it's risk-free, make sure you can't lose. That's the first thing. If you're in profits right now, make sure you cannot lose, as in less than
it hit TP already. It was just a small one. Still.
Say no more. Say no more. All good. All good. Because remember, there was a time when Jivan he was asking me, what does he download? How does he take the trades? Where does he place stops? And at the end of the day, if you're able to get in and out of trades now by yourself, you're already, you're making sure you're confident now. You're confident enough to pull the trigger. Confident enough.
Building the confidence.
That's it, bro. One step at a time. One step at a time. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's nice if you could turn around and say that we can have everything straight away. But let me tell you something. If you could have everything straight away, nothing would have any value, bro. Because everybody would be out here saying I'm a trader. Everybody be out here saying I understand certain things. So it's one step at a time. Yeah. All you got to do is survive and make it. You got to make it to where your destination is. All you got to do. Keep doing what you got to do. Keep your head straight. Focused on what it is you want, and keep making those strides. But guys, good morning. God bless. I'm going to put on something that is going to maybe help us to learn something. In fact, I'm going to play something short, because I'm going to have a meeting at around 10:30, but I will let you know, and then I'll be back on the charts by about 1:30. All right, so just give me a second. Let's see what we can put on. If you're available, if not, you're going to have a great day, then go and have a great